What's going on? This your man, Mr. Controversy, representing the three-point conversion. Did you miss me? Yes, this is my NFL diary. Week 16 is in the books. We just finished a great Monday night game. About time. Well, we've had a lot of great Monday night games, but these were two teams that mattered instead of the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. Forgive me, Saints fans, Lions fans, especially Lions fans, you suck. But anyway, yes, great week. And first off, I got to say to this Monday night game, my man, I want to give a shout out to Dwayne Harrington, one of the writers for the three-point conversion website. Go check it out on the threepointconversion.com. He wrote an article about AJ McCarron, and it actually was put out today, and he talked about how could AJ McCarron, it's called Who is AJ McCarron, and can he carry the Cincinnati Bengals through the playoffs? I don't know. It was a great game. He played pretty well considering this was his second game starting. I think he's fit. I think the big game, he's ready, especially coming from Alabama, playing in big games. I'm not going to say he's going to wow you. Like, I was surprised what he did tonight, but yet still, I think he's going to play better than we expect. And as long as he doesn't make turnovers like he messed up at the end of the game, I put that on him because it touched his hands. But as long as he don't make too many mistakes or he limited his mistakes, Cincinnati has a chance. You see how great that defense played. And, you know, he made some great throws. And I think the team's going to rally around him. And it'd be interesting. It would have been interesting if you'd have won tonight's game. Then with Andy Dalton coming in, what would you do, especially if he wins another game? But, hey, we'll see what happens. You know, shout out to Brock Osweiler. They did a great job. So before we get started, you are listening to Mr. Controversy's NFL Diary on the three-point conversion station on Spreaker Radio. Make sure you download the Spreaker app, Spreaker app. It's the radio app, and you can follow the three-point conversion station. This way you can listen to the show on your car while you're working out. Whenever you want to listen to it, just click on your phone or computer or whatever. Also, you can listen to great shows like Sports and Nonsense by Big TJ. Also, the Three-Point Conversion Sports Lounge by yours truly, Mr. Controversy. The Talking Bears Outside the Locker Room that's from yours truly, Mr. Controversy, and with Quessy, the Crazy Wabbit, and Intentional Groundings, which is the new show that aired 2 weeks ago, and it's a great show, and that's by Quasi the Crazy Wabbit. Also, watch out for Face the Music. It's another good show. It's going to be music and sports mixed. So enough of that. Let's get to it. We have a great show today or this evening, whenever you're listening to it. Yes, we are live right now, but you'll probably listen to it as a podcast because we are late. And let's see. We're going to talk about counterfeit teams. Mr. Controversy has his counterfeit teams back. Counterfeit teams, who's getting too much credit? You know how we do with that. And also, the Carolina Panthers. I want to talk about the loss. Was it a great loss? What does it mean? Is it bad? Is it good? Why they lost? We're going to get to that. So strap up your seatbelt. Let's get to it. Let me crank my music. You know I got to crank my music. So here we go. Of course, the music by Sharon Beats. Let's go. Let's get it. So, yes, I have to start out with my counterfeit teams. So we know the playoffs are getting heated up. There's one team that can make a difference. So we have the NFC. The NFC is wrapped up. We know it's going to be Carolina, Arizona. It's not in order. Carolina, Arizona, Green Bay, Minnesota, Seattle, Washington, and and that's all 6. Okay. For the AFC, we know Pittsburgh, Denver. No, I'm sorry, not Pittsburgh. Denver, Kansas City, New England, Cincinnati, and it's a toss between. I guess it's 2 teams. Toss between Houston and Indy, and my counterfeit team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers are my counterfeit team. Why? You got to remember, man, I've been talking about how I think Pittsburgh could come in and it can scare some folks, which I still believe. But you had a prime chance to wrap up your playoff. Your playoff positioning. You had a chance. You played, of course, your nemesis. And I'm not mad because you played your nemesis. You played the Baltimore Ravens. We know it was going to be a tough game. But we're talking about the Baltimore Ravens without Joe Flacco. That just enough right there. No Terrell Suggs. Come on, man. The starting running backs out. Steve Smith out. Like, what else? But you know it's going to be a tough game, a nemesis. But you play against Ryan Mallett, the quarterback, which has nothing to do with this rivalry. He doesn't know how intense this rivalry is. He knows as much as I know, which means he shouldn't have been a factor. He shouldn't have been a factor in this game. But you let him become a factor, and they win the game. Really? Your playoff started Sunday. You really should be out. Jets look good. They have a game against Buffalo, a tough game, might I add. We'll see what happens. And it's in Buffalo. But still, you ruined your chance. Or did you? Then Mike Tomlin, I have to call you out. And I love you as a coach. You're my favorite coach. Only reason I call you out because it was a 4th and 1. You had a chance to kick a field goal. It was like a 45 to 50-yard field goal. If it was probably closer than that, you had a chance to kick a field goal well in field goal range, and you have to go for it. And you got to remember, this rivalry is always separated. I think the last 6 or 7 games has been decided by 3 points. Come on. Each game has been decided by 3 points. Last 6, 7 games. And you go for it, really? And you're playing against Ryan Mallett. I'm sorry. You're going against Ryan Mallett as a quarterback, opposing quarterback. Big Ben, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're throwing picks. Come on, man. Counterfeit. My next counterfeit team, Green Bay Packers. Yes, I have to call you out, the Green Bay Packers, not just because you lost, because you played a great team, but it's the way you lost. You look weak. The defense looked unenthused. What else to say? I give credit to Aaron Rodgers because you hung in there. You took a pounding and you kept playing. Coach wanted you to come out. You came back in just to prove a point. Come on, man. I don't care if you have injuries in the offensive line. You shouldn't play that bad. I'm sorry. I know my wife is probably listening. You shouldn't have played that badly. But that was horrible. Sack after sack after sack. Fumbles. Defense. You didn't play well at all either. Act like you couldn't stop anyone. You didn't want to stop anyone. Then Lacey, I have to call this out because I was watching it. They're down 38-1 or something like that. 31 to what? 2, I don't know, 3 or something. and they scored a touchdown. Then this joker, he scores a touchdown and want to throw the ball at the wall like he did something. Boy, you down by 30 points in the fourth. Get your tail back on the bench, getting stiffed on him like that by a D lineman. Counterfeit. I'm telling you, you're gonna have to play better teams when you get to the playoffs. And if your defense is playing like that, you're not gonna win. If your offense can't put up points and your line can't block, every team in the NFC can rush the passer. We're talking about Seattle, Carolina. You saw what Arizona could do. Minnesota, even Washington. Excuse me. I'm just saying what you don't have a chance if you're gonna play like this. Counterfeit. So now I gotta talk about, I have a segment I've talked about for the last 6 weeks maybe, and it's called Who's Getting Too Much Credit. So I'm trying to think, who's getting too much credit on week 16? Easy. Teddy Bridgewater. Yes, Teddy Bridgewater. Why do I say Teddy Bridgewater? Again, he's playing good football, very good football. I'm not saying he shouldn't get any credit, but he doesn't deserve this much credit. He's getting too much. He's a game manager. Yes, I said he's a game manager. People want to say, oh, but what about Russell? No, Russell Wilson's not a game manager. Not when you lead the league in percentage, passing percentage, or you lead the league in quarterback rating. No. But the reason why I say he's game manager, and it's okay because this is his second year. We're not asking him to do too much. And it's like, it kind of reminds me of a Alex Smith in a sense where he's making the safe passes. He's not making mistakes, which is great. That's what you want in a young quarterback, especially when you have a dynamic running back and your defense is playing well. Nothing wrong with that. But he's getting too much credit because we're acting like he's throwing darts down the field and bombs, and he's just picking apart defenses. No, he's giving what the defense is giving him. Or he's getting what the defense is giving him, which is fine. I'm just saying he shouldn't get too much credit. That's all I'm saying. He's getting too much credit. Okay, so before I go any further, I have to throw this in. We all saw what Kirk Cousins did on Saturday. I don't have too much to say. The heck was he thinking? That was funny. You see how once he kneeled down, then he tried to play it off and try to spike the ball too. He kneeled. Like, what was you thinking, man? Well, if I was a coach, first of all, we in the locker room. I'm giving a speech. You standing by me the whole time. When we run with me. I might even put the second string quarterback in just for first play. Dummy. But you're playing well, though. Got to give that to you. And you were on my who's getting too much credit. Hey, you looking good, man. Trying to prove me wrong. So also, I got to get into this Belichick before we talk about Carolina. We all know about this overtime call, which the guy said we're kicking off. A lot of people believe that Belichick was just taking up for him, but it's been I shouldn't say documented. It's happened. It's on record. He's done it in a few games where in overtime he went for kicking the ball off, and he's won both games that he's done it prior to this game. But he lost this game. The confusion. Excuse me. I don't think the guy was supposed to say we're kicking the ball. You're supposed to defer, because when you defer, that means other team picks were receiving what you know they were going to receive. Once you defer and they say we're receiving the ball, then that's when you come back and say, okay, we want it on this side, as which they wanted. But this knucklehead said we're kicking, which meant that receiving team get to choose which side they want. So basically, they didn't get anything they wanted. And I'm talking about New England Patriots. You got to kick off, cool. But the whole purpose of kicking off because you wanted to pick where the wind was, pick against the wind or go against the wind. Or have them go against the wind. But you didn't do that because you said you're kicking first instead of saying we defer. Messing up, bro. Making your team look bad. All right. So I'm sorry, y'all. I got to switch it up. Because I have to talk about Carolina. And this is the hot topic right here. Just because I look at this loss. First of all, congrats to the Carolina Panthers. Because when you think about what they accomplished, they won 14 games. They were 14-0. This Carolina Panthers team, only one, maybe two fans I know that had this much faith in them that they probably thought they were going undefeated was Brendan Taylor. Shout out to Brendan Taylor. Hope you're listening, man. You do good work. Also, Big TJ from Team Boy TV. Shout out to Team Boy TV. I believe you two were the only two that believed you all can do this because you talk mess and to me, especially, I think, Brandon, you did too during the off season, especially Big TJ. I hear it all the time. I talk to him. So shout out to you all. But congrats to the Carolina Panthers. Think about it. You lost your best wide receiver. Then you had a whole bunch of nobodies. I mean, before the season, Ted Ginn was garbage. This joker played in 9 seasons, only had 9 touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. If they were receiving. But anyway, he had 9 touchdowns total. So you had Greg Olsen, but no receivers again. Jonathan Stewart, who always get hurt. It was just like, what's going to happen? And you start off 14-0. It's only been 2 teams that's been undefeated went undefeated during the season. We all know who they are. Just in case you're listening, you don't know the history. Miami Dolphins, excuse me, 72 Miami Dolphins, and the 07 New England Patriots. So congrats. But this is my thing. A lot of people said that this was a good loss for Carolina, that it was good for Carolina to lose. What in the world? Why would you say it's good for Carolina to lose? That doesn't make sense. It's never good to lose. I understand why you would think that, but I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. Most people say it was good for them to lose because Carolina, now they can get focused. They got it out the way. They could focus. They could look back on their mistakes. They could play football. Well, during the win, first of all, you would never hear anything like that from Belichick or a Belichick team. So during the win, a head coach, get his other coaches together, and then you look at what you've done wrong, then you fix those mistakes. You correct those mistakes. Even if you win, has nothing to do with a loss. You say, well, now the pressure's off of them. No, it's more pressure now because they have to win this next game so they won't lose the home field advantage. Now you say, okay, they're only playing Tampa Bay. It could be only, but this is a rival. This is what I shouldn't say that rivalry, but this is division foe. And anything can happen. Again, it's pressure now. Now you have game film. Now people know they can be beat. Now it's in their mind that they can be beat. They were going on a high. It's just like with the Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, they've been on streaks the whole season. They started out 5-0, won 5 straight games. Then they lose their next 7. Then they needed that one win against Jacksonville to get this next win, or the win they just had against Carolina, which was a gigantic win. Yes, it was a division foe, but still, this was supposedly the best team in the NFL. And they beat them. Whether at home or on the road, they beat them. So I'm saying you don't want to lose if you haven't lost. So you think it would have been good if New England would have lost in 2007 season? That wouldn't have mattered because they lost in the Super Bowl. That wouldn't have changed anything. Doesn't change the way you play. But you're saying that maybe they can be serious? They should have been serious all along. Honestly, if that's the case, it's good that they were having fun because I think that's what prompted them and drove them to go 14-0. So, like I said, I mean, I understand some people's logic, but it's never good to lose. Then I want to talk about Josh Norman. Now, last week, I got on him and Odell Beckham, for the foolish play. And I talked about how with Josh Norman, how he has to do it more than just one season. People say his first year or whatever year, he did pretty good and he played a few games. You have to do it more than a season and a quarter. Not saying he's not good, but we saw what happened yesterday against Julio. Now, Julio got that big catch. It was against Keith Lee and whoever he played against. But, whoever he went against, the linebacker and the safety, I think. But when he was on Norman, he torched Norman. Norman couldn't do anything with him. See, now you put a target on your back. People was talking about Odell's back, and I said it. Now people going to come out gunning for you because you did too much talking, too much showboating. So now everybody's coming for you now, Norman. They're going to play their best. Since you say you're the best, you think you're the best, you're going to get the best now. Before, people was like, okay, this little young kid, he's nice, but now you're the focus point. You're getting your name circled now when you're playing against wide receivers. Not because they want to hurt you, because they're going to play their best. They want to play their best, which is good for you because you can go ahead and display your talent. But you're going to see what's going to happen now. Now, back to the whole team. Now let's look at their future. I look at their future and we say, okay, Carolina, like we said, some people say a loss is good for them. They can go out of the way. Don't really think they're there yet. Like I said before, they might make it to the NFC Championship, but I don't think they get to the Super Bowl. And just because it's just not their year. I don't think, not yet. Next year, when Benjamin come back, this team's going to be scary because now all of these receivers has confidence. And even with Ted Ginn, and you got Benjamin, so you got somebody to take the top off the team. You got Greg Olsen, who can catch the ball anywhere, can run any route you need him to. And then you have Benjamin to come in with the big body, make the big catches. Cam can start throwing high again, and he doesn't have to worry because Benjamin will snatch him out the air. So that team looks scary next year. I don't think they're winning this year just because, again, you're taking the top off teams, but if you're playing against the elite, most of them besides Green Bay, but every other team has a great defense, and you're not going to be able to take the top off the team like that 5-6 times in a game. You might get 1 or 2, but you're dropping at least 2 passes a game, 2 open passes a game. So how in the world you think you're going to be able to beat a team when you can't take advantage of that? Can't happen against the good teams. My only downfall with Carolina, I think the fact that they yes, they played their schedule, but they didn't play too many elite teams. They didn't even get to play any elite teams down the stretch. And I think that's going to kind of hurt them. Like Green Bay, they played against Arizona. They lost. They played against Minnesota. They're going to play against Minnesota again. I just think that, they played against a Denver. They went through a losing streak, but playing all of these good teams, I think it helps. It gets you, not only game film, but just ready to, you play against the league. You know what you have to do now. Whereas Carolina, because you've been playing these teams that hasn't been that good or haven't been that good, now when you get to the playoffs, it's not, you don't have that measuring stick right now. And you just lost to an Atlanta Falcons team who's playing with some heart right now. That's good because a lot of these teams will have heart, but Atlanta doesn't have the talent on both sides of the ball like the teams that they will face, Carolina will face in the playoffs. So that's why I don't see them going to the Super Bowl. But there's nothing wrong with that because, again, none of us saw them getting to the playoffs. People, Mr. Controversy, you hate. No, I'm not hating. I'm telling the truth. You know how we do on the show. We tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what I'm doing. So all I'm saying is not this year. Next year, yes. I think they can do it next year. This year, no. But this is a step closer, So that concludes the show. It's going to be a great week 17, the last week. I like it when it start getting into playoff. I wish it was more teams that was in the hunt, but now it's just you're jockeying for position. And with the AFC, it's going to be interesting to see because Pittsburgh, who knows? They might lay a neck again against the Cleveland Browns, but the Jets go against the Buffalo Bills. The Ryan Bowl, too. This will be an interesting game. First of all, Ryan is jealous because New England was able to beat – the Jets were able to beat New England. He hadn't beat New England yet, except for the playoff game, but he keeps losing to them. He doesn't have the formula. But it seems like Bowles does. But he's beaten Bowles already in New York. So, he wants to do everything in his power to prevent the Jets from going to the playoffs. But then again, you never know. Ryan hates Patriots so much, he might let them win just so Jets can beat them again. But see what they do. See if Denver loses. See if Kansas City wins. Who gets that first round bye in the AFC? It'll be interesting. Can't wait till next week, man. It's going to be good. So to all y'all that's been listening, supporting me, I appreciate it. I got a record high of listeners last week, and I appreciate you all for liking and sharing. Hopefully you all do the same, trying to get me out there. Just apply for iTunes. It should be coming up where I should be approved. I don't see why I wouldn't. But hopefully I get approved and continue to share, like, comment, let me know. Big TJ say he hate the did you miss me? I'm like Cam Newton, sir. If you can't stop me, you're going to continue to hear it. No, it's playing, man. But anyway, shouts out to the 3-point conversion crew. I got to mention some names. Mr. Joel Schaefer, man, I appreciate your support. LaShawn, what is it? The Dark Knight. Hopefully you're listening. You watching because I'm giving you a shout out. Mr. Brian Snow, big shout out, sir. Who else listening? I can't think of everybody right now. I was late. So I'm about to close it up. You can follow me at on Twitter at Mr. Controversy 21. Also You can follow the 3-Point Conversion on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, make sure you go check out the 3-Point Conversion website on the 3pointconversion.com. Make sure you follow Mr. Controversy's NFL Diary. Follow the whole station. Follow the 3-Point Conversion station on Spreaker Radio. Remember, you have to download the Spreaker app, SPREAKER app, and it's the radio app. Follow the show, follow the station, check all of the shows out. And until then, you all have a happy new year. Hopefully this year was blessed, but you have a blessed and safe new year, prosperous new year. Because I believe I will. I'm going to make everything happen. Hard work, we grinding. So until then, I see you. Peace. Will you miss me? I'm out.